So that's proof that they were mingling themselves among them gooks, which they wasn't supposed to do. But that's in Jake nature to be wicked as hell. All right? Now, read the second verse too. Yep.
It says, for they have taken of their daughters for themselves and for their sons, so that the holy seed have mingled themselves with the people of those lands. Yea, the hand of the princes and rulers hath been chief in this trespass. And when I heard this thing, I rent my garment and my mantle, and plucked off the hair of my head and of my beard, and sat down astonished. Then were assembled unto me every one that trembled at the word of the Most High, the power of Israel, because of the transgression of those that had been carried away, and I sat astonished until the evening sacrifice.
Yeah, so the prophet Ezra, he was astonished at this whole thing, man. Because Jake is doing what the hell they want to do, man. They just doing what the hell they want to do, man. They just do whatever comes into their mind. They're marrying Moabites, they're marrying Edomites. But the day is going to come where the Most High is going to jack all of you up. I'm talking about the nations and the children of Israel. Now let's go from there to Isaiah, the 16th chapter. I'm sorry, let's go to Psalms, the 60th chapter and the 8th verse. And then from there, we're going to go to Isaiah, the 16th chapter and the 4th verse. And then we're going to jump around a little bit. All right, go ahead.
Psalms chapter 60, verse 8. Moab is my washpot. Over Edom will I cast out my shoe. Philistia, triumph thou because of me.
Read that again.
It says, Moab, Psalm 60, verse 8. Moab is my washpot. Over Edom will I cast out my shoe. Philistia, triumph thou because of me.
Right. Moab is my washpot. Now you got guys breaking that down, talking about, yeah, that's talking about the Chinese working in them Chinese restaurants. They wash them pots. It ain't talking about that. Because if it was talking about that, why would Edom be mentioning that? You know what it means? The Moabites are buying up all of Esau and Babylon's debt. So now they're tired of it. So basically, when they stop buying that debt, that's going to stop the flow of the currency of this society, man. Let's read that. Washpot.
Yeah, the Hebrew word there for washpot is sayar, which means pot. Pot, household utensil, pot of temple, thorn, hook, briar. Down here it says cauldron, a pot so-called from boiling and bubbling. That's pretty much it.
So there's more to it.
Click down here, right? Let me see. Thorn, briars, so-called from the idea of boiling or bubbling up, a notion which is applied to the redundant and luxuriant growth of plants. A thicket is used poetically, an image of impiety. It also denotes a hook, a fish hook, from its resemblance to a thorn.
All right, that's all I want. Yeah, really, in other words, that what Moab is doing is being a burden to the Edomites over here in America. That's what it really means. It's cleaning it out. It's getting back at America. All right? All right, go ahead.
Yeah, I think this will allude to what Elder Tahar is saying. It says, Moab shall be the pot or basin of my washing, my wash pot, contemptuously said, for I will use it as the meanest vessel.
Yeah, because so that's a new Moab. The Chinese are the new enemy of Esau over here in Babylon. They're not enemies to the Germans or the Russians because they made a deal. They're in trade now with the Russians, and the Russians are part of the WTO right now, the World Trade Organization. So they're basically pushing America to the side. So it's going to affect America on an economic level. Right, thorns, briars. That's right. That's right. That's a punishment to you. All right, that's a burden to you. The fact that China and Russia no longer deal with the U.S. currency or the Fed, that's going to be a burden. That's going to affect this economy greatly. It's already affected right now. So every nation is slowly leaving your side. All right. Now, where was we? Was in Psalms 60, verse 8, right? Now, go from there to the book of Isaiah, the 16th chapter, and the 4th verse. Go ahead.
Isaiah chapter 16, verse 4. Let mine outcast dwell with thee, Moab. Be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoiler, for the extortioner is at an end. The spoiler ceaseth.
Who's the extortioner? Who is the spoiler? Read that again.
Let mine outcast dwell with thee, Moab. Be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoiler, for the extortioner is at an end. The spoiler ceaseth, the oppressors are consumed out of the land.
Read that again.
Let mine outcast dwell with thee, Moab. Be thou a covert to them.
See, how you think China became great business-wise with their cars, with their technology? They got it from Esau over here in America and in Germany. The Japanese did the same thing. The Japanese were able to make these cars, the Toyota, the Nissan, these cameras, the Nikon, the Canon, I think that's one of them. They got their technology from the Europeans over there in Germany and from the Americans. They got their business sense from the Americans and the Germans. So what they're doing now is they're saying, okay, we got your information. We're going to push you out. Because you've been evil. You extorted people. You lied to people. You set up people. Read that again.
Let mine outcasts dwell.
So they remember this. So now that they're in their power seat, they're saying, "Oh, we get a chance to fuck over America. Well, that's good. Let's do them real good." Go ahead.
Let mine outcasts dwell with thee, Moab. Be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoiler, for the extortioner is at an end.
Right, the extortioner is at an end. So they're aware of that. They know that this man is at an end. Go ahead.
And the precept for extortion, it says ringer. You know, when you ring something, because that's what America does. They wring people dry. It says, for the extortioner is at an end, the spoiler ceaseth. The oppressor.
The spoiler ceases. Now, when you get a chance, you know what I want in Isaiah 33. You got something?
Yeah, because the scripture called Moab the spoiler, right? Now, here's an example. When you go to history, there's something called the Treaty of Nanking. It says the Treaty of Nanking, also spelled Nanjing, was a treaty signed on 29 August 1842 to mark the end of the First Opium War. And when you go into the history of the Opium War, that was the so-called Jews, the so-called white men, who got the Chinese strung out on opium. All right? So that's another example of them being the spoiler. The end of the First Opium War, 1839 to 1842, between the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Ireland, so-called white man, and the Qing dynasty of China. It was the first of what the Chinese called, listen good, it was the first of what the Chinese called the unequal treaties, because Britain had no obligations in return.
Yeah, do me a favor. Look up the Boxers Revolution. The Boxers Rebellion. I think it's also called a revolution too. Read that again, brother.
This is Isaiah 16 and 4. Let mine outcast dwell with thee, Moab. Be thou a covert to them from the face of the spoiler. For the extortioner is at an end. The spoiler ceaseth. The oppressors are consumed out of the land.
So that's plain and to the point. If it ain't talking about Esau, I don't know who the hell it's talking about. Yeah, read that right quick before if the brother until the brother finds something. You got something? All right, go ahead.
Isaiah 33:1. Woe to thee that spoilest, and thou wast not spoiled, and dealest treacherously, and they dealt not treacherously with thee. When thou shalt cease to spoil, thou shalt be spoiled. And when thou shalt make an end to deal treacherously, they shall deal treacherously with thee.
Yeah, so the extortioner is at an end. All right?
Yeah, this is from Wikipedia. It's called Boxer Rebellion. The Boxer Rebellion, also called the Boxers or the Boxer Uprising by some historians, or the Righteous Harmony Society movement in northern China, was a proto-nationalist movement by the Righteous Harmony Society, or Righteous Fists, Righteous Fists of Harmony, or Society of Righteous and Harmonious Fists, known as Boxers in English. In China, between 1898 and 1901, opposing Western imperialism and Esau, put a name on that, the devil, Esau, the so-called Jew, Amalek, opposing Western imperialism, again, America, you can put on another name there too, America, and Christianity. The uprising took place in response to European spheres spheres of influence in China, with grievances ranging from opium traders. It goes back to that opium again. Grievances ranging from opium traders, political invasion, economic manipulation, to missionary evangelism. In China, popular sentiment remained resistant to Western influences. Now, I remember years ago there was this movie I saw. It was a kung fu movie, and they dramatized that. They had these they showed you they had these Chinese boxers doing karate against these so-called evangelist devils. I don't know the name of the movie, but I do remember that scene was in there.
Yeah, so that's more history that links right up with the scriptures. Now let's go from there. We're going to jump to the 6th to the 7th verse, 6 and the 7th verse, and we're going to jump to the 12th verse.
Isaiah 16:6. We have heard of the pride of Moab. He is very proud, even of his haughtiness and his pride, and his wrath, but his lies shall not be so. Therefore shall Moab howl for Moab. Everyone shall howl. For the foundation of Kirhas Reseth shall ye mourn. Surely they are stricken. Verse 12. And it shall come to pass, when it is seen that Moab is weary on the high places, that he shall come to his sanctuary to pray, but he shall not prevail.
Yeah, because they think they're going to be the next power, but they're not going to be the next power. You coming into power right now over Babylon. But when Babylon goes down, guess who goes down with Babylon? You, the Russians, and everybody else outside of the nation of Israel. All right? Now let's go from there to Isaiah. No, I'm sorry. Let's go to Psalms 83, verse 6. Because that company of nations that came against us, Moab was a part of that. So you're going to have to go down right along with Esau.
Psalms chapter 83, verse 6. The tabernacles of Edom and the Ishmaelites, of Moab and the Hagarenes.
Moab is in that. Now let's start from the top. Let's go to the top. Go ahead.
Psalms 83:1. Keep not thou silence, O Most High. Hold not thy peace, and be not still, O power. For lo, thine enemies make a tumult, and they that hate thee have lifted up their head. They have taken crafty counsel against thy people and consulted against thy hidden ones.
Right, so the Moabites are a part of that, because the Moabite is one nation that is a part of the UN, the security, I think it's a Security Council, if I'm not mistaken. There's really 6 of them. The United States is one. The former USSR is another. Germany is also a part of it. France and China. All right.